Right, I believe Gabe is a wolf. It was my latest game. Yeah, that looks like it. Oh yeah, I was going to do something. Yeah, I reckon Man Abadan I will be able to get working. But why it locked up like that, I have absolutely no idea. It was working absolutely fine until then, and the accessibility options look great. Well happy with them. Right. This is Al Totting. Okay. Actually, does it give me a chance to have a hello? Have a look. Right. Yes, that's the Black Madonna of Al Totting. So Gabriel has been infected by Von Zell's bite, and may or may not be turning into a werewolf, and is currently imprisoned in the dungeon in Rittersberg for his own safety and those of others. The ice cream head demonologist has advised me that basically I'm going to need to seek supernatural help to save Gabriel because it's all gone horribly wrong for him. We don't know where the talisman is. Cool. I'm glad they were good meetings. Glad you've got a team now. It's not just you. That must be so great. Right. It's a novelty. It must be weird. It must be like, oh, I don't have to do everything on my own. Oh, right, okay. I can ask people to do things. So, Al Totting is where... is where? Please, can everything just stop sending me updates and notifications? I don't care. Al Totting is where the heart urns are kept, including the urn that contains the heart of King Ludwig. Yep. Doing your own updates now. That's alright. When it crashed, they did pump shanty at me, and as it finished, Windows came back. Okay.
Penitent offerings. A replica is made for the part of the body you wish to have healed. The replica is offered to the Lady of Al-Totting as a token of faith.
Okay.
I wonder if these penitent gifts do any good.
But if you're here, there's a limit to how much harm they could do. Oh, right, okay.
These all say, Maria hat geholfen. Mary helped.
Wish you were a manager with folks to manage rather than previously having the title but no reports. Oh no, technically you manage the community. Admittedly, I think with a whip and a chair on occasion. As part of that community. Okay.
These all say...
Okay.
I suppose the crosses are gifts from the cured, or are they another means of petitioning the lady?
Fair enough. Okay.
think I'll do my petitioning inside the chapel.
Oh, she's petty.
Grace Nakamura.
Okay. What's this way? Oh, hello. Good grief.
These all say Maria hat geholfen. Mary helped.
And... oof. Moliere, yeah, absolutely. Sympathies there. I can go up that waltz that way. Oh, right, so I can walk around in circles, basically.
I'd better wait till the service is over.
Fair enough. Hey, Molly, don't worry about it. We can multitask. We can celebrate somebody having a team of minions and actually being useful, while simultaneously commiserating that you have been left in an awful position. We're good like that.
Hello.
Hat geholfen. Hi, who are you?
Mary's water. It looks like they want a donation.
Hey. Couple of ways that could go. We'll be wholesome with people at the drop of a hat. Yep. 37% off if you buy the bundle because you already own Planet Base. What, Dawn of War? Oh. Shall we buy some of Mary's water? Why not?
Grüß Gott. Is it possible to see Ludwig's heart urn? Das tut mir leid. Das Herz für Ludwig II. Von Bayern. Haben Sie das Herz? Das Herz. Herz. Oh, no, not my heart. I'm not sick. Thanks.
That expression says, oh, that's really useful. Dawn of Man. Why did I say Dawn of War?
If you have a special prayer to make or wish to place a penitence offering, I can lead you to the shrine.
Did you take a vow of silence or something? I mean, it's possible.
Water from the Black Madonna's spring.
Okay.
I'd better wait until the service is
Oh,
over.
right, okay. Shh. You have no context towards anything in this game. You're very fond of this lady just fighting the German language.
I don't need another bottle.
Oh, mate, I do. Somebody want to have a punt at filling Alexio in, say, 2 sentences, a couple of lines as to what's going on. Wait, you want to adopt the monk? I'm not shocked. Go drop the bot. Yeah, that would have been nice. I suppose they've got any of the lemon stuff at your place. Juiced. Don't drink gin often. But there is one that tastes like lemon sherbets, and that's gorgeous. Okay. So. I have no offering to make at the moment. However, I am having a thunk. Others Meredith have a new wife button emote. Do we need adoption? I'm tempted, actually. Yes. Stalk with the baby with the towel bundle underneath. It was a werewolf in Germany. Gabriel bitten by a werewolf in Germany, so we hope researching the one will solve the other. Yep. Also, flirty hair. I have an awkward thing to ask Gerda.
How is Gabriel? Is he going to be all right?
I think I may have a spare emote slot, Fish.
He'll be fine, Gerda.
Let me know if I can help.
Sure. Thanks.
Ooh. Yes, FMV. Actual, real, honest-to-God actors.
Gerda's offered to help, but I can't think of anything she can do at the moment.
I can. But it means I've got to go to church. The question is it better to beg forgiveness or ask permission? Murder flirt hair. Yes! Right, you see, I'm thinking in terms of all those penitent offerings. Icons and things.
That silver heart reminds me of the silver penitent gifts at Altotting. I wonder if... No, that wouldn't be right. Maybe I should just ask her.
That's it. Right. Okay, now Grace is on the same page as I am. It is good FMV. As Chrono says, there was a rash of this in the stage between moving from sort of 16-bit sprites to detailed 3D graphics. The tech for one had not yet kicked in. But they are wildly variable.
Gerda, I have something to ask you. It's really awful.
What is it?
You know the silver heart you got for Wolfgang's casket?
Yes.
If I paid you to have another one made, do you think I could take the one at St. George's?
It's for Gabriel, isn't it?
Yes.
Take it. Wolfgang will understand.
Thank you so much, Gerda.
Yeah, it got too expensive to hire the actors versus the graphics improving. Gabriel Knight 3 is 3D rendered graphics. Relatively early for an adventure game to do that. Again, not perfect, but has its moments. So, Anyone who has played or watched the first game may be experiencing a moment of irony here. Wolfgang gave up his heart so that Gabriel could get the Ritter family talisman. I do mean that literally he pulled his own heart out onto a sacrificial altar. And now, the heart on his tomb is being used to help Gabriel. I mean, you have to admit that's fairly bloody hardcore.
Wolfgang.
He sent Gabriel off to get a heart from one of the zombies that have been attacking them. And in the meantime, all you hear is just this crunch slice. And come back and find Wolfgang has basically, placed his own heart in the receptacle. Hardcore, yes. Now that is a good description of this bloody chap. I wonder if there's a letter. Because Gabriel obviously hasn't written, but every morning I've been visiting the post office, so what are the odds? Maybe something from the police?
Grüß Gott, Frau Nakamura.
Grüß Gott. Haben Sie etwas für mich?
Nicht für Sie, aber für den Schattenjäger.
For Gabriel. What is it?
Okay.
I'll take it to him. Ich bringe es zu ihm, okay?
Ja, okay.
I want nothing to do with this anymore. She's actually shut up shop. Okay.
It's a letter from von Glauer. And he sent the Ritter talisman back too.
Gabriel,
Here we go.
I know you are very ill right now. The change is always painful. I went through it myself when I was only 12. And I did not even know what was happening to me. I'm sorry I'm not there to help you. But I have a pretty clear sense that you would not welcome my presence. You are safe in Rittersberg. For now, that is enough. Let me speak then of the future. You hate me now. I know this. But I have some hope that by the pass of the second moon, when the sickness wanes and the blood has inflamed the greater part of you, you will see things differently.
Von Glauer is a fascinating antagonist.
You will need me then, and I think you will want me then. It is for hope of this that I did not have you destroyed the night you were bitten by von Zell. I could have done. You were passed out for hours at the lodge. It would have been a simple thing to wake the men, show them von Zell's corpse, and make up a story that would enrage them enough to kill you. I did not. Let that be proof of my true desire for friendship with you. I have desired companionship for more years than you have lived.
Yes, antagonist rather than villain. Let's put it that way. Bad boyfriend's not telling Gabriel your dating gift is lycanthropy. To be honest, though, I don't think he was anticipating von Zell attacking him. I'm assuming that at some point down the line, he was probably planning on infecting Gabriel. But I think that was going to be a little while down the line.
I have even very rarely taken the risk and changed others. But the blood was always too much for the brain, and my chosen one ended up dead.
Exactly,
Or
Fish.
mad. This is why I started the Hunt Club. It was my idea that if I could first indoctrinate men's minds the religion of tooth and claw, that they then might be prepared for the change. As you have seen, it did not work. Voncel was the best of the lot. If he had turned out well, I would have taken the others. But there's no point in even trying with them now. But you are different. You are a Ritter. Your blood is already supernatural. Yes, I know of your family. I have studied much over these long years. When we met, I felt somehow that you would not be destroyed by the gift. You have an enormous streak of the beast in you, and you are innately strong in the occult. You will be powerful and beautiful in the change. I am sure of it. I did not intend for it to happen so soon and in such a way, but perhaps fate has its own reason. But how confused you must be. You may feel I used you to dispose of Voncel. I did. He had to be taken care of, and you obligingly showed up. What was I to do? I'm too old not to have learned at least this much about the light. You cannot shut it out. Better to let it in and let it simply dim to adjust to the relative brightness inside. Think well on these things as your body adjusts. Think about meeting me in Munich in 2 months' time. We can leave Germany if you wish, and go anywhere you like. I will teach you how to hunt, how to live safe and well.
Thank you, Goiner. You sure Gabriel as a wolf still has may get a contract with L'Oreal to promote his long fur?
You can feel the night wind on your face, taste the heartbeat of the kill beneath your jaws. It is glorious. Much more so than the priestly lie the Schattenjäger offers. Don't confuse yourself with ideas of good and evil. Nature shows us that there are no such distinctions. You and I both inherited something from our fathers. Is your legacy any less of a curse or blessing than mine? Join me. Yours, Friedrich.
I have to say, I absolutely adore Friedrich. Here comes the occult part. Advert cuts to... Yes. Yeah. They did a hell of a job casting for Friedrich. Because it could have gone really wrong if he'd been too obvious or, you know, gone too evil. But as it is, it's a very believable back and forth romance seduction that's been going on all game. Yeah, it's okay, Connor. I kind of got the gist. I remember those ads. I've got a Pennsylvanian demonologist standing guard.
I can't reach the bird through the bars.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. Gabriel in not having a good time mode, but still with epic hair. That was the other thing. Him and Friedrich both very well matched in the looks department.
It's good conditioning for hell.
You're going to be fine.
to hear, Grace.
Yep.
I'll tell him about the letter, eventually, when I have everything else under control.
Right.
The Ritter talisman.
Gabe's ancient philosopher name is Epicarius. Ouch. Let's see if I can give Gabe the talisman back.
I'll keep the talisman until Gabriel's better. It might not react well to that stuff in his blood.
I'll just hang on to the epic level magic artifact then, that's fine.
I can't reach the bird through the bars.
Okie dokie. I don't have any birdseed, unfortunately. I don't even have anything resembling birdseed. Yeah, nobody is in any position to complain about puns. Okay. Right. Let's head back to Altotting and make my offering.
Hello.
I think he has, you know. I think he's taken the vow of silence. Okay, because I suspect...
A donation. Wow, you are awesome and probably quite cool, so thanks hugely.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Sincerely, thank you very much. Needed that. You are an absolute star. Right. Take me to where I can make my offering.
I have a prayer for the Madonna, Father.
He is so lovely.
You'll take me when the service is over? Yes, Father.
Okay. Right, so I can't get in there at the moment. So... anywhere else that I can go in Altotting?
Drat, someone has decided to follow you. No, I don't know why either, but enjoy it while it lasts.
Thank you, Wolf in the Big Box. Work out the shared custody. Everybody wants to adopt the monk. Okay, well, we know we have things to do in Neuschwanstein. And I apologise for the pronunciations. I really don't. Can anyone remember where the stuff is? Because I can't. Okay. Now. I'm waiting for this guy to wander off. Because I know the guards patrol. The visit, they sort of keep an eye on all the visitors.
I wish I could have seen these through Ludwig's eyes, like Gabriel did.
I'm not convinced that that's necessarily a plan.
I wish I could...
And that's a distressingly short tunic.
I don't think the guards would be sympathetic to my cause. According to Gabriel, Ludwig was arrested at that door. Well, he never did make it to the tower, so I guess I don't need to worry about what's up there.
Fair enough. Okay.
I can almost feel Ludwig again, seeing these things.
Not sure you want to anything like Gabriel. He's not well at the moment. And indeed, yay for quick meetings.
I can almost feel. I can almost feel.
Oh, right, okay. Okay.
It's a beautiful crucifix.
Right, we have an apology to make.
The Black Madonna from Altadine. Ludwig really had a connection with her.
Right.
I wish I could have seen these through.
Yeah, that is St. Louis, which is the one who's supposed to look like Von Glauer. Now, where was that panel?
I'm surprised people don't sit in these chairs when the guard's not looking.
You're humming. Why are you
These
humming?
linens look seriously expensive. And seriously old.
Right, where
These li-
Where did he put it? Oh, hello. Oh. In the nature of small children everywhere. Okay. Let's unfortunately be horrid to the small child. It's holy water, it'll be fine.
Entschuldigen Sie bitte. Die Kinder. Ich hole etwas, um es aufzuwischen.
Oh, thank you for the donation of the gift sub. That's great. Okay, let's save because I cannot remember where the hell I'm supposed to be looking here.
these linens look.
In the desk?
More swans.
Oh, Swanstein.
I think I'll stay out of.
Okay, if she's there, does that mean... There we go. Big old letterbox. At least they've both got big coats so they can hide all manner of stuff in them. Okay, that's part one. Now, there was something hidden sure there was something hidden in one of these panels. Maybe not.
I can almost...
No, okay, no, fine. Nothing there? Nothing there. Big coats with lots of pockets are cool, as demonstrated by Tom Baker's doctor. Yep. Absolutely.
I don't think I need to move the table.
It's okay, I don't plan on moving the table. But I'm fairly sure there is one in there. So...
I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
Now... Oh, I knew I should have paid more attention. Okay. Sure, there's one in here.
I don't think I need...
Don't need to move the table. It's treasure hunt. Okay. I don't think I'm getting anywhere at the moment with this. I haven't spoken to the demonologists, actually. Grace and the amazing monocolour secret coat. Yes! So, let's go and see if Mrs. Ice Cream Hair even, has anything helpful to contribute.
I think I'll steal one of these rolls.
Please do, dear. You're thin as a rail.
How can you tell under the coat? Do you have anything to say?
Sit down, Grace.
Okay, so we need to at least have something new to talk about.
There's something I think you should see.
Oh, my. Has Gabriel seen this?
No.
Well, my dear, I understand your reluctance, but it's his karma, you know? It's his choice.
He's the son, you know, von Glauer. He's the son of von Rollick.
Yes, I think you're right.
And he wants Gabriel.
So it seems. But that doesn't mean Gabriel wants that life. He didn't ask to be bitten.
You don't know him like I do. Running on all fours wouldn't be a big stretch.
I won't tell you the choice will be an easy one. But it's a battle he must fight. All you can do is believe in him. That's all you can do.
Ooh, severe case of the grumps.
Now you be careful.
Be the bigger person, Grace. Yep. Weird mix of overprotectedness on both sides. Because Gabe was trying to keep Grace away from... I'm just wondering if the Schottenjäger library's got anything. Keep her away from the werewolfery. Which is what put her onto Ludwig. Ironically. No, Grace is his assistant. Alexia. She worked as a shop assistant in his bookshop in New Orleans. But yeah, basically she was his research assistant and employee. While she was deciding which doctorate to go for next. They're new. Okay. Well, that's random.
There's nothing in the secret passage that could help me now.
Okay. Okay. Having thoughts, and I don't know if these thoughts are any good. Assistant and sometime romantic interest. Yeah, basically in the first game, Gabe is a serious shag monster. String of X's a mile long. And Grace very much is not impressed with this at all. Shag monster is your new favourite word. Go along with his shaggy hair. The hair is really similar, actually. It looks very strange at the point where he has to pretend to be a priest in the first game. He just dumps a load of hair gel on it. See, I'm having thoughts, and I'm having thoughts involving that and the Boyd. I don't know why, but I'm wondering if it'll work. No, in the first game he's up against a voodoo cult. The videos should be on YouTube. If not, then I highlighted them. Because I've done a playthrough of the base game and of the anniversary remake. Boydie! I've got Boydie. I've got the Boydie and I've got a pillowcase. Can I stuff the pillowcase around the bird? Shit, yes I can. Hello. Okay.
It's alright. You're just gonna help me out for a bit, and then you'll be free.
Grace, you bird napper. I wonder if that service is finished. Is that a bird in your blouse, or are you just pleased to see me? Yeah. Is that a pigeon shirt? I've got to check on.
The pigeon seems to be doing okay in there.
Because that's a natural environment for a pigeon. The inside of your coat. Be a snack for later. I think it's just a distraction in case Gabriel gets loose. It's just, here, have the bird. It's fine as long as he doesn't eat humans.
Hello.
Oh, come on. I wonder if I did the water wrong.
I don't need another bottle.
Fine. I can't get in while the service is going, so I've got to go back to Neuschwanstein. Secret bitch, secret bitch. Does this mean, Fish, I'm going to have to do a speed run of the Sins of the Father? Possibly a straight through. Okay. I have the audio guide. I don't. Right. She's terrifyingly tall. Right. Got to be a changing of the guards.
I don't think the guards would be sympathetic to my cause.
If I have the highlights still, I can just export them and make a playlist. I'm sure I highlighted the whole lot off. Come on, you planning on going anywhere?
I don't think I need to move the table. I don't think the guards would be sympathetic.
Oh, nudity. Ah. Come on, you've got to go for a wander at some stage. It's your own time you're wasting.
More swans. I don't think I need to move the table.
You don't need to move the table. I'm just waiting for the guard to wander off. Doesn't seem inclined to, which is irritating. Okay, fine.
These paintings do represent scenes from Wagner's Lost Wolf opera. At least that's one mystery solved. Wagner's opera. It really exists.
There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Not what I meant to do. Really easy to accidentally click through. I just walked in circles. Yes, okay, well done. She's still there! For God's sake, woman! Your feet must be hurting. Okay, big open window there. If I were trying to distract somebody... Really? Okay.
Letting the pigeon go out there wouldn't do much good.
Okay. How about
That
there?
adjoining hallway might be useful.
Okay. Can I not just snap the guard's neck and hide him in the bed? Tempting. Thing is, there are play fragments hidden, of course, all around the place. This poor urban pigeon's now stuck up a mountain.
Wie ist das Ding hier hereingekommen?
I don't think Grace has a skinning knife with you, so she'd lose on some resources. Yeah, you just go ahead and vandalise a historic monument. It's fine. Right.
These
Where did he? It was. No, it wasn't. It was in this one, I think.
These paint.
That wasn't it. Well, where the hell was it?
These.
Shut up.
These paintings do represent scenes from Wagner's Lost Wolf opera.
Eh? He's still not caught that. Ah!
These paintings do represent.
Right. He still never caught the pigeon. What's he doing? Bless him.
These.
It was somewhere in one of these pictures. That one.
These paint.
Aha! Not actually in the painting, of course. Section 2. Must have been very strange to act out on the green screen. I apologise if I'm frustrating you, guys. I really hope you wash your hands, sir. Now, there's another one in the grotto I distinctly remember. Has she moved? Oops. Really easy to get
Grace Nakamura.
turned around. She's still bloody there. I am willing to wait. I am willing to sit here and damn well wait. Because at some stage she will wander off. Time to release the termites. Oh god. It used to be awful when birds got trapped in the store where I used to work. Tried very, very hard to avoid calling pest control because they'd just turn up and shoot them. There we go. Which has led, on occasion, to members of staff with actual honest-to-God butterfly nets.
I don't think I.
Actually succeeding in catching a sparrow in a basket. Oh, what, pigeons, yeah. Pigeons rather are flying rats, yeah. It took a lot of us. Okay. We have 3 acts of the opera. So, hopefully now the service will be over. You've rather fond of pigeons, having worked one summer in the pigeon lab. Fair enough. Oh, seagulls are fucking vicious. I can't believe I'd never seen a seagull kill a pigeon before, and then I did it. I saw it twice in 1 week. Seagull pecking the heart out of a pigeon.
Hello.
Ah, no chanting. Oh yeah. Okay. Right, time to go and make an offering.
I'd like to make a prayer, Father.
Yeah. Gulls are also protected, however, so. Which is why we have a local falconer. Deal with the ones who really are pests. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Right.
The heart urns. I think I know which one is Ludwig's, but how am I going to get it down?
Now might be the time. Actually have a go. There's a definite any port in a storm situation.
I think the box is for penitent offerings.
Ah, okay, so. It's an absolute scream in summer when you can tell the visitors under normal circumstances. Because they're the ones eating fish and chips openly and attempting to feed their chips to the seagulls. Well, the locals are just going, no, don't do that.
Lady of Valtoting, take this gift. I think you know why I'm here. I apologize for even thinking of violating your shrine. But you know I need to get what's inside Ludwig's urn. I think you want me to help him, and Gabriel. Gabriel may be egotistical and selfish, but he's got a good heart, I think. Anyway, he doesn't deserve this curse. Help me help both of them. Please.
It's that he's got a good heart, I think. Okay, exactly who are you praying to? Please help me poke around in an urn containing a dude's heart.
I think I know which one is...
Okay.
I think... It's the Lady of Valtoting.
No, she's turned the lights out, but I'm not sure it's actually all that helpful. Oh, hang on. Hang on, hold the horses. There's a door here. It was telling me what to do.
I hope this works.
She blew out a candle to indicate that I need to blow out all the candles. Because the wind howls like crazy out there.
I only have a few seconds.
Oh, I think it's that one.
I can't reach the urns.
The way a man's heart is through his funereal urn. I really need to not get caught. I think it's that one. One thing, Gabriel Knight 3 was actually having copies purchased to be burned. Yay! Oh god, don't knock it over. I'm going to play GK3 on stream. No, it is not a heart. It is a piece of an opera that was hidden with the heart. Here's my dears. But yes, Gabriel Knight 3 delves quite hard into the Cathar heresy. And it does what this one does with the historical Ludwig. And it annoyed an awful, awful lot of the same sort of people who, you know, burned Harry Potter books and Terry Pratchett and such. I mean, it took the same approach of, we are not saying that this is how it actually happened, but for the purposes of the story, this is how it's done. It's like, Ludwig was a real king, not a werewolf. But yeah, people were getting to the end of, I think, disc 3. And it was, you know, fine. Oh my god, we don't like this. And there were actually people burning them. Aha. Yeah. And exactly. And you would have thought vampires would have clued them in that Gabriel Knight 3 was not really. Two months later. Invitation to the Chief of Police and Baron Friedrich von Glar. And that is the flirting musician dude, who is also a music student and conductor. His hair is too short to be properly flirtatious. Yes. Okay, let's save this.
Der Fluch des Engelhart by Richard Wagner, conducted by Herr Klaus Immerding and Herr Georg Immerding. I can't believe we've pulled it off.
So, that's Georg's brother, that's the guy from the museum. Have a proper look around.
I could use some fresh air, but I don't have time to go outside.
Okay, what does fluke mean? Well, one of the producers, you would have thought she'd be entitled to her own programme. Ah, thank you. So, here's the plot.
The Curse of Engelhart by Richard Wagner. Act 1. Many years ago in a small German village there lived a young man named Engelhart. Engelhart was a lowly blacksmith's apprentice. He was fair-faced, but by nature gentle and shy. Being orphaned, and having lived with the blacksmith in virtual slavery since his parents died, Engelhart had nothing in the world to claim as his own. Nothing, that is, but an amazing talent. For 10 years, the beautiful and much-desired wares that had passed for the blacksmith's own had actually been produced by Engelhart. The blacksmith, a greedy and vain man, was determined to keep this a secret. He forbade Engelhart to ever work the metal in front of another soul, on pain of death. But the blacksmith's ingratitude went further still. He was so plagued with envy of Englehart's talents that he treated Engelhart like a lazy and worthless dog.
Okay. Strong feature, Alexia, if you're not familiar with Jane Jensen games, strong feature is, of course, she puts in loads of historical stuff. I believe you saw Mobius. Nothing that is but amazing hair. Yes.
The other villagers, assuming that the blacksmith's behavior toward Engelhart must be deserved, followed suit. Now in the same town there lived a rich baron. The baron maintained a patronly and righteous face with the villagers, but it was rumored that he was actually unspeakably cruel and wicked. There was also a young maiden, Hildegunda, who was lovely and good-hearted. Hildegunda was the only one who took pity on Engelhart and was kind to him. Engelhart loved Hildegunda madly, but was too shy and too penniless to even speak of it. In the first act, we learn that Hildegunda's parents, blinded by the prospective fortune, have betrothed her to the Baron. When Hildegunda learns of this, she is terrified and protests that the Baron is reputed to be evil, but her parents brush this off as jealous rumors and demand her obedience. Poor Hildegunda is too good to defy her parents' wishes, and so she reluctantly agrees. The Baron, with great public ceremony, sends Hildegunda a betrothal gift of a silver jewelry box.
Fair enough.
Hildegunda, overcome by her fear and anger at the betrothal, casts the jewelry box into the fire. She is immediately remorseful and pulls it out, but it is too late. The delicate silver has been badly marred. Hildegunda fears for her life when she sees the damage. She is afraid the blacksmith would report the damage to the Baron, so she approaches Engelhart and begs him to help her. Engelhart thinks of his master's warning, but determines to disregard it for Hildegunda's sake. He melts down the silver and constructs another box even more beautiful than the first. When Hildegunda sees his great artistic skill, she falls in love with him. The two come together in an aria of love, but their bliss is momentary. What about the betrothal? The young couple, knowing the Baron will never relinquish his claim, decide to run away.
Okay.
Act 2. The Baron learns of Hildegunda and Engelhart's disappearance. He is so furious that he hires hunters to track the pair down. Hildegunda and Engelhart are found and arrested. In a public trial, Hildegunda pleads their case in a stirring aria. She tells the townspeople of Engelhart's great skill and his mistreatment by the blacksmith. She tells them Engelhart is good and kind. The blacksmith should be turned out for his evils and Engelhart given the shop. Then she and Engelhart could marry and live in peace with their neighbors. Her parents chose a groom for her, but she begs to be allowed her own choice. It is then the Baron's turn to speak. He declares that he has been terribly injured, a victim of a wayward girl. His marriage claim was first. There can be no other. He implies that if the villagers do not help him make it right, he will remove his aid from the village coffers. Then the Baron turns to Engelhart.
So, basically, if we tax the Baron what he owes, then no more jobs from the extremely rich guy.
By the rights of the injured, the Baron announces he is empowered to set a curse.
Oh, give it up!
The Baron curses Engelhart with a terrible and ancient malady, that whenever the moon shines in the night, Engelhart will become a marauding wolf. The village is terrified of wolves and has been plagued for many years by a local renegade wolf which has taken the lives of many children. The Baron further declares that because he is merciful, he will still marry Hildegunda, but not until she renounces Engelhart with her own words.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Until she does, he will keep her safe from further shame by locking her up in a small room at the top of his house. The villagers naturally side with the Baron. Hildegunda goes to her prison, and Engelhart does indeed become a wolf at night. At first, Engelhart is hated and feared by the villagers. They make the sign of the evil eye at him and will not tolerate his presence in town. But soon, rumors start to circulate about Engelhart the wolf. It seems he is always careful not to harm any human being nor any domestic stock.
Mr. Baron, sir, that is not the way to woo anyone. With werewolf stories, we have the possibility to actually eat the rich. Yes.
In fact, he even does some good for the villagers. He scares away bandits and he keeps the renegade wolf at bay. No more children are lost to the fangs of the night. Engelhart's kindness shines through even the dire nature of his curse. Hildegunda, meanwhile, still loves Engelhart as much as ever, whatever curse he might be under, and whatever acts that curse might force him to commit. When she hears of Engelhart's successful mastery of the curse, she dedicates herself to him forever. Hildegunda tells the Baron that she will never renounce Engelhart. The Baron's plan having collapsed before him, having given Engelhart dignity rather than removed it, he flies into a rage. He tells Hildegunda that he will marry her anyway, and on the morrow at that. She will become his wife or her parents' life will be forfeit.
I don't think he's quite got this whole dating thing sorted out. Good Guy Werewolf Opera, where was this when you were 16? I don't know. This is really good, though. And I have to say, I do like Robert Holmes's opera.
Act 3. The final act begins with the wedding feast for Hildegunda and the Baron. Hildegunda has cooperated due to her fear for her parents' lives, but now that the service is over, she is horrified to find herself that Baron's wife, and is mourning her final separation from Engelhart. After her poignant opening aria, the Baron approaches her and tries to draw her back to the party. He calls for the entertainment, hoping to cheer her up. In strides a traveling show of minstrels. They wear comic costumes and full face paint and immediately proceed to play and juggle for the crowd. One of them, a mime with a tragic frown painted on his face, seems to want to hover near and amuse the bride. She keeps brushing him off, clearly depressed and tearful, and he does his best to make her laugh. After the amusing antics of the minstrel's first song, the tone changes and the minstrel's music grows dark and theatrical.
You would watch this opera? Yeah, I'd watch this opera.
The Baron protests, preferring the comedy, but he's reassured by Hildegunda's father.
Simply
the minstrels gather in a circle around the frowning minstrel. They whirl around him, and he slowly sinks from sight. The music grows more frantic. Suddenly, the minstrels burst apart like petals, and standing in the center of the room is a wolf. The villagers scream, but Hildegunda cries out that it is Engelhart. The wolf does not attack the crowd. It only lifts its head and begins to howl. The Baron screams at the wolf to stop, and he screams at the villagers to kill the wolf, but they only stare in horror. The Baron pulls his hair and gnashes his teeth. He rises and makes it to the center of the banquet hall, where he falls down in a heap of wedding silk. What emerges from the silk is another wolf. Engelhart has revealed the Baron's terrible secret for all to see. It was the renegade wolf that had terrorized the village. The Baron wolf escapes from the hall through the main archway. Engelhart leaps after him. The villagers rally in a cry of horror and fury. One of the men grabs an axe from the wall and entreats the others to follow. They will stalk and kill the murderous wolf. The villagers storm through the archway. Hildegunda follows. The final scene takes place in the woods outside the village. The villagers hunt the two wolves. They follow the wolf tracks, singing of the apparent ferocity of the battle between the two wolves. Hildegunda answers the men's excitement with her own fear for Engelhart's life. The crowd emerges into a clearing. There, the two wolves are engaged in a final deadly embrace. As they watch, Engelhart triumphs and the Baron wolf sinks to the ground and dies. Unfortunately, Engelhart is mortally wounded. His curse has been broken by the Baron's death, but it is too late. Hildegunda sings her love to him, while the villagers pronounce him a great hero. Engelhart dies, and all mourn in a sorrowful final aria.
You see, I would watch the full version of this. Everybody on the same page as to where we're going? Engelhart mean angel heart? Yes, I believe it does. Let's have a look around. In your defense, you only took a 3-month-long German class. Ooh.
Lots of drains around here. At least they don't have to worry about flooding.
Should have expected, given that you knew the source material for another Wagner's operas. That still hurts, yeah. Heart is hurts in German, but you don't know if that's an older or variant. Could well be. Oh, it could be effectively a Google translation error. Or local equivalent there too. God, I remember doing this first off on the monitor that didn't show any detail because the monitor brightness had died. So this was basically black and all I could see were the light bulbs. Angel Heart. Oh no, that's a very different thing.
Cool air's coming in through that vent. It must lead outside.
Okay.
How quaint. These little latches hold the doors open. How quaint.
Okay. Exploring underneath the opera house. I'm sure this will go absolutely swimmingly.
If I can't get Gabriel back to Rittersburg before tonight, this room might do the trick. But I need to be able to lock it.
A lot of theater junk. A lot of theater junk.
Okay.
Looks like an old set piece. Looks like an old set piece.
Yeah, because this is an ideal place to have a werewolf transformation. She's never seen the door with a stopper. Usually the back room of a theatre is magical in its own right. I find it fascinating. Where is she keeping that? It's creepy when it's deserted.
Looks like an old set piece. A lot of theater junk.
Anything else? Got the private sign. That's fine. Back out here, I guess. What's this go? That's creepy when you're blasting music while painting props. That would do it. Ah. Dudes. Hi, dudes.
That rope might come in handy.
You're going to randomly untie a rope in a theatre, aren't you? Because there's no way that could go wrong.
Oops.
See, trousers with pockets. This is why pockets are important. In case you ever get trapped in an adventure game.
They'll find something else to use with the pulley.
Fine. So, go out that way. Down to the cellars. Or out that way. Oh, this is Flash. Oh, right. Okay, that's there.
We have 1 hour, people. Herr Emmerding. Herr Emmerding.
Yes, Mr. Costello?
Herr Emmerding, I must again protest about my lack of vocalization in Act 3. I have not a single note until the transformation aria.
Now, how many times do we have to go over this? You are disguised as a silent minstrel.
I know that. But an aria sung to the audience, off to one side, would be very effective. Hildegard has one.
Yes, but the audience is not supposed to know it's you until the transformation into a wolf. It's a surprise. You know, surprise.
I realize that's the way it's written. I simply disagree with its effectiveness.
Your opinion is noted. It's time to get ready, Georg.
You go. I want to go over this one more time.
I think he's dressed as a minstrel, but why he's dressed as a minstrel, I don't know. If that's supposed to be Engelhart. Okay.
There's no easy way to get there from inside the auditorium. There's no easy way.
Okay, so we found the boxes.
There's no easy.
Back out we go. Actually, since I'm here, hang on. Since I'm where? Where did I come from? Oh, okay. Right, let's have a look in. Okay, so those are basically all the same, I think. So the lower boxes are not much use to anyone. Okay, fine. Okay, not a problem. So yeah, let's go and have a word with Georg. Check how he's doing.
How you holding up, Georg?
Oh, man. I'm going crazy. I wish I had never blackmailed Klaus into letting me conduct.
Don't be ridiculous. The opera was your discovery, Georg, remember? You'll be famous after tonight.
Assuming I don't make a complete ass of myself.
Bless his heart. Okay.
I'm nervous enough. Thank God it's not me on that stage tonight.
Oh, what are you doing? You're adopting him as well.
How's the installation going?
All right.
Will the last one be up soon?
Yeah, soon.
Okay. Head upstairs.
The restrooms are back there. I don't need to go that way at the moment.
What's this? Okay, so those are upper boxes. Right, okay, fine. Oh, this gets its own cutscene. Hello. Wow.
This is a nice box.
Hello.
These seats look comfortable. Those other seats don't look nearly as good as the ones in this box.
Fine. Yes, seat favoritism.
Looks like I found a spotlight, and one that's not often used by the look of it.
I'm gonna mess with things now.
I should try to aim the spotlight, but I haven't decided where to seat Von Glauer yet.
Okay. Anything else I can steal from in here? Probably not.
That's a nice box over there.
That's probably where he's going to end up sitting, but yeah, okay. Come back. Anything for my conductor son, I will end you. I mean, this whole opera is here to expose a werewolf, let's face it. So what's this way? Okay. Ah, right, okay. Found an office. Excellent. Found Gabriel. That's also excellent. Have that. Going to do the most dramatic reveal ever.
A seating chart. This might be useful.
Yes. Ooh, rustly. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Am I not allowed to?
Old playbills and schedules. Old play...
Okay.
Old...
Fine. Wow, nice dress. Pockets for the win again. Yep, absolutely.
Here's that list I made.
She has a to-do list. Of course she has a to-do list. Oh, hang on, what's that? Oh, opera glasses, okay. Fair enough. I swear she's got bags of holding in those pockets. First impressions of Dawn the Man are pretty good. It has a large familial resemblance to Planet Base and New Stone Age. Cool. Right, let's have a chat with Gabe. Keep your hands away from his mouth, just in case.
How do you feel?
Like someone's put broken glass in my brain.
Still epic hair, though.
I thought we'd have you back in Rittersburg by now. The Smiths are waiting for you there.
It's okay. Just stick me in a room somewhere. Are we ready for the test?
I'll check.
Could you see about some heat, Gracie? I'm really freezing in here. Are you cold?
Sure. It's cold. I'll see what I can do.
You cold? No, but then I'm also not turning into a werewolf.
You do that.
So my entire job for this section of the script is to lie there and nap. Okay. It's a hard job. Who's been shaving him while he's ill? Someone brave. I feel much warmer once first covering his skin. I can't help thinking that is possibly not what you want looking down at you. Where were the guys? Yes. Let's go and have a chat with the guys doing the chandelier, I think.
I made this list of things to do.
So, test the chandeliers to be safe. Gabriel to be safe in Rittersberg, night of the opera. Warn against possible distraction. What?
I made this list of things to...
Wait until the last minute. Figure out where to seat von Glauer and Lieber. Inform Usher of the seating plan. Set up secondary spotlight on von Glauer. Find ways to trap von Glauer in his seat. Set up Magic the Gathering? Oh, meeting with Lieber at theatre. Make sure he's armed. Hope of the 5 o'clock shadow who tells you anything, it's that beards go kind of quickly. Gabriel is also basically redhead. Reddish blonde, so his hair is likely not to grow that fast. But also, it's not going to show that much.
Herr Silbermeyer, I know you're working as fast as you can, but we're opening in less than an hour. I really need to run through some music once you're done.
Why music? They will not fall down.
I'm sure they won't, but, look, you told me they'd be done by noon.
You are lucky that we could even make them in so little time. And then we drive them here special this morning.
I know that. I know. You've been great. It's just... Is everything at least going according to the diagram?
Yeah, we make it work.
What do you mean we make it work?
This diagram is not so good. We make changes, yeah?
Oh my God. Look, there weren't supposed to be changes. I told you to follow the diagram exactly.
Maybe in 1945 we followed diagram exactly. But today, we make changes.
What are you saying?
These measurements are not the same as today. Now, if we make the chandeliers the same distance from each other, just as marked, but the distance from chandeliers to the walls, no, not the same.
Why aren't the measurements the same? This is the Wittelbacher Theater, isn't it?
Yeah, but not the same Wittelsbacher Theater. The bombs hit the first one. This one is very close, but smaller.
Oops.
But everything looks so old.
As he takes the art and the wood and save it. Remake theater later, after the war.
Of course. Of course. How could I be so stupid? I'm a history major.
It's okay. Chandeliers work good. Same distance from each other, but just not two walls.
Yes. I'm sure you've done your best. Thank you.
Not like it's a pseudo-mystical transformation controlling device or anything. Never have I seen such a clear expression that reads, "Oh shit." Indeed, GB. Time for some maths on the fly. I love the casual, yeah, we made it work. Oh, crap. Hi, Georg.
Georg, I need you to promise me something.
What?
There may be some distractions tonight in the audience in Act 3. I need you to keep playing no matter what.
What distractions? What are you saying?
Don't get upset. It's just, well, it is opening night. The audience might be a bit rowdy, you know?
Are you serious?
But we have extra security lined up, so if anything were to happen, it would be taken care of. So just, you know, keep playing.
Grace, I do not even want to know what you are talking about. This is a brand new Wagner opera. I am not going to stop the performance, even if Wagner himself comes floating out on stage.
Great.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
I think the flirtiness may be over. I think Wagner has won out over flirt. Dear. Now he's worried. Okay.
I suppose that large X had something to do with the seating arrangements. It's in a nice line from the chandeliers. Wagner's layout of the theater. The old Wittelsbacher theater.
It reminded of the Goodies episode where they presented Tim and Graham as football fans, style ballet fans. Oh god, yes.
Wagner's layout of the... Wagner's...
Okay. So, that's the seating plan.
The large X on Wagner's diagram is in an area called the Mittelloge on the seating chart. I'd better check it out.
Right. Okay, let's go look at the nice box. Got to admit, that is impressive. Before directing a world premiere of a lost opera is not exactly the best time for the flirt, no.
This is definitely the Mittelloge. According to Wagner, von Glauer gets seated here. Lieber too. Now I just need to find a way to block the doors.
Mega pockets. Okay. I'm just aware of the crash that happened a couple of times. Okie dokie. So, head back to... That will work.
The restrooms are back there.
No, it was upstairs, wasn't it? Going the wrong way. Oh, mind you, while I'm here. There you go.
Paul.
Yeah.
You're going to see 2 special invitations tonight. One is addressed to a man named Baron von Glauer, the other is Kommissar Lieber. Both will be seated in the Mittelloge. I have it marked here.
No problem.
Oh, and when Kommissar Lieber arrives, please find me. I need to speak with him before he's seated.
Yes, Frau Nakamura.
You're annoyed about the Goodies. You have 3 DVD box sets that were put out, but now they've released a complete BBC box set and you can't justify buying it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, right, let's... Now we know where von Glauer is going to be sitting. That's not where I was. No. That one? Yes. Sorry, Robinson. This wasn't going to be Gabriel Knight, to be fair.
No point in aiming it until it's on.
Okay. This was going to be Man and Madame, but Man and Madame crashed like a bucket down a well. Okay. Let's point this. I don't know where you're aiming that, dear. Right. Want there.
Perfect.
But yes, hello both Val and Robinson. We are prepping for a grand opera. So, Gabriel was cold. We don't want a chilly werewolf. So. Now this place isn't confusing enough. Hello, what's that? Ah, key box. Excellent. Grand Opera we're going to ruin dramatically. Oh, glad to hear that, Val.
Not much in here. Not much in here. Keys from the panel box in the basement.
Hey. Oh, you just wander off with the fire keys, that's cool. There's all these pipes.
Lots of drains around here. At least they don't have to worry about flooding.
It's a relief. Aha, okay. Hello, boiler room. No Man's Sky is 50% off. Curse the universe and the fact that you want that game but also need to recover money after expensive computer failure. Yeah. Okay. And she's going to do this without getting that pink blouse at all dirty. Grace is great. Grace is also annoying, but then so's Gabriel. Okay, what are we looking at here?
There we go.
Right. Okay.
That should make Gabriel feel better.
Yeah, that's going to help with the whole turning into a werewolf thing. Let's check that that key does indeed lock that door. Okay. It's one key. Excellent. Right. I am going to take a very brief bio break because we're heading into the absolute climax. So I will be back with you in 2 minutes.